Hey teachers, we know things are just nuts right now. With the holidays approaching, you have got your hands full between your own life, your family, your students, whatever on earth is going on at school. Grade report's going to be due soon. We just know this time of year is so challenging. So to give back to our teachers, we are doing a very limited time Thanksgiving Black Friday sale. And this sale is so simple. It is one coupon you can use on anything you want. That's right. We are issuing basically a blank check to our listeners, and this coupon is good for 50% off anything. You heard me, literally anything. If you are listening and you use this coupon in the next 48 hours, I'm talking about before the end of the weekend, you can take 50% off any one item that you've had your eye on in the Brave New Teaching world. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to go to shop.bravenewteaching.com and you're going to use the coupon code 50 on any. 50 on O-N any. A-N-Y. 50 on any, and you can go and get whatever you've had your eye on for 50% off. I hope that you get a chance to use it. I hope that whatever you find brings you joy, peace, organization, and just a happier year ahead. Let's get on to the show.
Well, hello and welcome back to Brave New Teaching. Hello, Amanda.
Oh, hey there, guys.
Hey, I jumped in there real fast with the hello for you.
What's poppin'?
What is cracking? I am about to be shamed by my friend Amanda here as we do a book update, friends. Because, listen, she is kicking my butt when it comes to reading books. And I am normally... Everything's competition. Have we met?
I don't, Marie. Okay.
Come on.
We are going to review our year in books, and then we're going to talk about how life changes.
I'm not going to let you talk.
Okay.
It's not a competition because you're winning. No.
This hotel smells kind of funny.
Friends, we are recording this at the end of a very long day, at the end of a very long week of teaching for me. And Amanda is in a hotel room because her family is sleeping on a submarine. And that is all the context that you get. I'm on the floor of my living room and she's in a random, not submarine hotel. Okay? Mm-hmm. That's where we're at. And you know what we're going to do? We're going to talk about books. Why? Because it's the right thing to do. Okay?
Yeah, it's time.
You know what the next right thing to do is?
I just said it.
You almost said it.
But I didn't.
Can you please get a hold of yourself? Cue the music.
You're listening to Brave New Teaching, and we are so much more than a podcast.
We give teachers the inspiration, support, and tools to challenge the status quo.
I'm Amanda, and I'm a former English teacher from Illinois.
And I'm Marie, and I'm a teacher from Southern California.
Join us at bravenewteaching.com to find out more about our courses, festivals, and get every episode's show notes.
We're so glad you're here. Enjoy the show. All right, friends. So Amanda is a reading machine.
Yeah.
I've never known you to read this many books.
Me neither.
Yeah. That's amazing.
But that's what I want. Like, I wanted to slap you when you were doing the intro because I was there when we started this podcast. I was not an avid reader.
Yeah,
and
I love how much
annoyed with people who were reading
like me
50 to 75 books in a year. I thought that was so obnoxious, and it is what it is. It's not. I don't know. I go through reading slumps, and I don't ever try to force myself out of them because of a reading goal. But like a reading goal / what we talked about last episode, like the right kind of books have replaced other habits of mine or have helped me in my pursuit of, like, I've been trying to get a hold of some of these ADHD symptoms. A lot of them are managed with medication now, but I still need that like dopamine release to do certain tasks that are just so abhorrent to me. And
yeah.
And reading has definitely become a way for that to happen that I really, really look forward to and enjoy. So, I mean, I don't know. I get it. Like I've been in the seasons of life that you're in now too. And it's just not happening, but I'm not judging you.
It's happening. It's just, I'm at a weird, well, okay. We can talk about my absolutely dismal reading life as it's been. And honestly, like, it's dismal for me. It's where I would
want to have more books.
Well, because I love it.
Yeah.
But I am so toast.
Yeah.
By the end of a day.
Mm-hmm.
That, and honestly, I used to do a lot of like listening to podcasts and audiobooks on my prep period, which I don't have until January. And on my, even like my 5-minute drive, but I don't drive alone anymore. My son now drives with me in the car, at least to school, because our schools, his middle school and my high school shares parking lot. So like, it's just like, oh, wow. It's interesting how when life moves, how those little habits change and like there's a ripple effect, because I'm also the person that if I'm not, I can read 3 books at once, but I have to be like looking at them every day or two to like keep it going. Otherwise I am gone. It took me almost a month and a half, which for me is like a year in book terms, to read a very cute, but like I had to keep going back to remember what had just happened. And it's not that complex of a story. A book called A Witch's Guide to Fake Dating a Demon by Sarah Hawley. Adorable, funny, charming. Should not have taken me that long. I don't fall asleep with books in my hands often. I was like every night, I was just out cold.
I get it.
Yeah. And so it's just like, I'm not like actually mad, but I am like looking forward to having a bit of a reprieve, I hope, where I can get myself back into some more reading.
Yeah. So I was texting Marie beforehand because I want her to start her 2025 by downloading the app Fable. So I know a lot of people love Goodreads for the yearly challenge, blah, 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 but I feel like that's the only thing it's good for. I've always thought the Goodreads interface was really crappy.
It's clunky.
It's clunky. Now it's filled with a bunch of ads everywhere. Yeah. And it's like, it's rough. So if you do have your stuff on Goodreads, you can upload it onto Fable. Fable's business model is actually geared toward ebooks and book clubs. And so I originally had like downloaded it because I thought I was going to do like some online book clubs with people there. But then I realized and found out that they actually had the reading tracking stats and things that were really adorable. Like some of the features I really like on my profile is as like live, like as you're updating your books, it's kind of adjusting this little reader summary to describe you based on what you've read.
Well, that's
and like
adorable.
Right now, my reader summary says, I'm a heartstring tugger. You're a sucker for tales blending personal growth, history's shadows, and a sprinkle of magic, aren't you? I'll keep the tissues handy with my recommendations.
Oh my God, that's totally you too.
But like, I didn't say that 2 weeks ago because I've put other books in.
Yeah.
It's definitely, it's fun to check in. And like, I like the books it gives you a bar graph for the books you finish per month, which is a really neat visual.
That's cool.
You can check in when you're reading for like a reading streak. I mean, I think I read every day. So like I don't check in. And then it gives you like a circle graph of your genres.
So cute.
Which announcement. My most read genre of 2024 is fantasy. Followed by romance.
Oh my God. Really?
Followed by young adult, followed by historical fiction, followed by literary fiction.
Wow.
It's been, you know what? In 2024, anything's possible.
Anything.
Anything's possible.
I am floored.
Well, And the thing, it makes sense to me, right? Because like if you get into a good series, then it's a series, and that's
totally. And then that's I guess that makes sense. Yeah.
I mean, 4 of mine were Sabaa Tahir's, right, Ember and Ash's series. The Rebecca Ross, her Divine Rivals series was 2 books. Then I read another one by her because I liked her. So like that's definitely how fantasy starts to stack the deck. But yeah,
I'm into it.
It's a really cute app. But okay, so do you have other books you want to talk about? Because I have some other like specific books we can talk about.
I mean, I actually listened to quite a few. I need to look back at what I listened to because I listened to more books than I physically read. There was one called A Kiss of Iron by Claire Sager that I think this is the one that I'm waiting for. Oh, nope. Now I'm playing it. Hold on. It's like I'm a grandma.
Turn the volume down.
Oh, no. How did I make that happen? Oh, no. Yes. It's the one that I'm waiting for the next one to come out. So I'm a big fan of that. It was a fantasy book, as I'm sure you are surprised to hear. There was a spooky, not quite I guess it was fantasy, but like a Halloween, mystery witchy book called The House at Watch Hill. And I absolutely loved that book.
Okay.
By Karen Marie Moning. Yeah. I've talked about it on social media a bit, but I haven't talked about it on the podcast. I adored that book. I listened to it in October and it was so good. What else have I listened to this year? We're just going to scroll. One of my other favorites was a mystery called First Lie Wins.
Oh, yeah. We read that too at book club.
Ashley Elston. I have talked to a couple of people who physically read it and they said it was fine. And I was like, I think it was that I listened to it and it's got a really good narrator and the narrator paced it really well. I highly enjoyed this book.
Wait, I'm trying to remember how the story went again.
Can I tell you without any spoilers? I
gave it a 4-star. I thought it was okay.
Yeah, it's one you see the twist coming, but it's still good.
This does not.
She's a con artist and goes out on jobs.
Okay.
Do you kind of remember?
Wow, not even.
Oh, okay.
It's completely abandoned my brain.
But well, I'm looking at one called Heartless Hunter that by Kristen Ciccarelli that I rated 4 out of 5, and I could not tell you what that was about.
Okay. Okay, Kristen.
Yeah, I also listened to I listened to a couple Emily Henry books early this year.
Yeah,
and I like those.
Yeah,
Beach Read and Funny Story I listened to earlier this year. I'm a fan. Yeah.
Okay, so I feel like I've already talked about a couple of my big 5 stars because they were early in the year. I talked about Demon Copperhead, right?
Yes.
Unbelievable. Probably the best book of the year. I mean, that is definitely the best book of my year. Maybe more than that. It was incredible. It's definitely not fantasy. It is definitely literary fiction, and it deep. But it was awesome. I love Demon. And then Stone Blind, I talked about too, the Medusa retelling.
Yeah.
Still think about that book, and I'm actually working on a monsters resource with it right now.
I love that.
Big time. I would say then, what were some other kind of surprises? Okay, so if we want to go ahead and just go into fantasy, let's go there for a second. Some recommendations. So Her Majesty's Royal Coven.
Ooh.
Have I talked about this with you?
Just to me. I don't think on the podcast. I think just on the phone.
Okay, perfect. So Juno Dawson is the author of this series. Yes, witches, but living in regular life, kind of have to keep a lid on it, right? That's the deal. It was my girlfriend, Bridgerton. What's her name? Oh my gosh. Penelope.
Oh, yeah.
Penelope from Bridgerton. She's
the one who read it, right? Yeah.
And that's how she was talking about it in Bridgerton times of 2024. And so I read that series and I really liked it. I thought it was real snippy and edgy and good. It was great. I really liked it. So that was 2. I don't know if it's a duology or if there's more, but both of those were great. And then I talked about Sabaa Tahir already. She can do no wrong. She's my hero. I love her so much. I This is not fantasy. This is just real spicy.
Listen, I'm here for it.
I was not. And it wasn't, well, okay. So I did read Butcher and Blackbird.
Okay. I started that. You just reminded me. I started that. I don't think I ever finished it.
I forced myself to finish it.
Okay.
It was too much for me. It was like even the fact that I'm sharing this information out loud makes me uncomfortable.
Okay. Got it. Like, you know what? Your secret is safe with me and the internet.
The whole internet. The spicy scenes were upwards of like 7 to 8 pages.
Oh.
And
that's just egregious.
Yeah.
Nobody's got time for that.
And they're both murderers, right. Peeling skin off people kinds of.
Oh, okay. Listen, I'm trying to eat chocolate chips right now while we record a podcast. If you could just.
So I can see that maybe like the extremes might be appealing for people, like a true escape, but it was just too dark and too. It was just no. It was upsetting.
Got it. Say no more. No, but literally say no more. Okay.
Moving on.
Yep.
I already talked about House of the Cerulean Sea.
I love that book.
Unbelievable. Okay. Serpent and Dove.
Love that book.
Mahurin.
Yes. Mahurin. I love those books.
Mahurin. Okay. So I've read 2. I read Serpent and Dove and I read Blood and Honey. And I thought they kind of went downhill a little bit for me. The first one was awesome. Was like a 4.5. And then Blood and Honey was a 3.5. That's the other thing on Fable is you can do half stars and quarter stars. Just saying.
Oh, you're saying 3.5.
I am.
Oh, it's just a 3.5.
It's just a 3.5. So, and then I finally read The Various Secret Society of Irregular Witches. I wanted to read it again and again.
Right?
It was awesome. That was 5 stars for me. That was unbelievable.
Yeah. You gotta listen to that one too.
I did listen to that one and I wonder, I mean, I was at the point where I was like, I want to read more from this author and I haven't found anything from her. Sangu Mandana is her name and her writing was so lovely. It is hard to find witches, fantasy, playfulness that's also well written and has interesting characters that aren't the same tropes over and over and over again. I thought she did such a nice job. It was so playful. It reminded me of Cerulean Sea, actually.
Right. No, I totally agree. Yes.
Loved it. I read Throne of Glass. I finished Throne of Glass and I didn't hate it. I actually, once I got a little bit further along, the characters did get more interesting for me. And I got a very, I like what's her face, the main character. I do like her. So we're cool. We're cool right now. Yeah. I'm in whatever other one. And Throne of Glass, I don't think this is very clear either. Like when you're searching online, I think Throne of Glass is not very deeply or heavy fantasy at all.
It's adventure.
And like there are magical elements, but I would not say it's not deeply rooted in some kind of mythology. I mean, like it may eventually be.
Did you read the next one? Or just Throne of Glass?
I just started it, yeah.
What's the second one called?
Court?
No. Court of Thorns and Roses is the second series, my love.
It's after the C. Crown of Midnight.
Crown of Midnight. As you start to meet more of the magical characters, I want to say it's Norse mythology starts to come out more and more.
And I feel like for me, like
it's fun.
Very much different levels of like how heavily you're invested in like fairies, gods, and like the lot. So I thought that to me was very, and I'm enjoying more type, other even more fantasy, but it was good.
Yeah.
It was good.
The adventure of those books are what like hooked me the first time and second and third.
This one is, I would say, very extremely feminist, and I liked that about it too. And that was delightful. I think my last couple of recommendations, because it's the end of the year, a couple of middle grades books that blew me out of the water. I already told everyone, if you haven't read Wild Robot,
I was just gonna say Wild Robot.
Read Wild Robot. I want to teach. Oh my God, so many units. I know it's written at like a much younger grade level, but that would be a cornerstone freaking 9th grade book. I feel like if that was taught with an EQ about like the individual versus society, about technology versus like there are so many good EQs that could go with that book to teach empathy and humanity, and like it would be brilliant for incoming freshmen to learn how to read academically and how to read with an EQ. Definitely. I mean, you need to read Wild Robot. And then I read another one. It was beautiful, 5 stars, called Sophia's War. It just came out. I follow Penguin Teen on Instagram, and it came out in November, and I grabbed it right away. It's spelled Safiyyah, Sophia's War. It reminded me a lot of Night War, Marie, that we read earlier in the year. But this one, the main character, she is probably 12, I would say, Muslim girl living in Paris at the start of World War II. And the story traces her experience kind of navigating World War II and the German occupation of Paris, and the treatment and the exile of Jews. But like the mosque is actually a place of refuge, and a place that the leaders of the mosque were helping Jewish Parisians leave through tunnels under the mosque. And of course, like hearing it from this, like I've definitely gotten a soft spot in my heart now for middle grades books, because I really think like the innocence of a 12-year-old telling the story is so different from what I'm used to with historical fiction. And I just thought it was so well done. It was really beautiful. And like her frustration with her parents who can't tell her everything. Like when you read YA, you've got these like 18, 19-year-old kids, right?
Right,
like they can know more. But like an 11, 12-year-old, you're not going to be like, okay, so we're going to like take these people, hide them, and then lead them under the tunnel. Like you can't tell a 12-year-old that.
Right.
But they're also insightful enough to know like something's up. So like they can feel the tension of their family change. Oh my God. It was just really good. Sophia's War. It was beautiful. Quick read, but like there are so many good ones out there. And of course the Night War was really good. And then Other Words for Home, Jasmine Warga. Unbelievable novel in verse. Absolutely stunning. A Syrian family, the mother and the daughter, and I think the sister, is it the 3 of them? The dad stays in Syria, but the mom and the sisters come to America. They're fleeing conflict in Syria, and it's about her experience coming into an American school in middle school and what that's like for her. And it's...
What's the title again? Sorry?
Other Words for Home.
Oh, okay.
By Jasmine Warga. It's it was gorgeous novel in verse, quick read and just beautiful.
Okay.
So loved it. I mean, those, as much as I love fantasy, I think historical fiction kind of does the same thing for me too, right? Like it's a little bit of that escape, and it's more serious, but I don't know. These also were like really empowering too. They were good. Those are my highlights, I'd say. I mean, that's a lot. Okay. That's not a highlight. That's a list, but
no, that's good. You've read a lot of books. So that was highlights.
If you want to be friends with me on Fable, you can see the rest of the list.
Okay. I did download it just now, but then it needs me to set my 2024 reading goal. And I was like, girl, I can click, I'll set my goal later. Oh, gosh. I'm going to need to do a lot of maybe laters because I'm tired.
That's fine. Do it later.
Yeah, we're just going to go ahead and turn that off.
Just turn it off. You don't even need a goal. You just need to track it because it's fun to look back on. The end.
That's true. I will say next year, I want to branch out and just like read more stories. I mean, duh, every book's a story, but you know what I mean? Like, I just want to get a little spark going over here.
Do you want to hear some tea?
Yeah, always. Have we met?
So I hope they're not listening, but here's the word on the street. Book club's getting a little boring, dry, predictable, unenjoyable, like the actual club, right? So I'm not in charge of it, which is the first problem. As we know, right?
No, I get it. We have a sickness.
Right.
Yeah.
That's right. I say this to the one who's having a holiday show. You know, why not?
We share sickness, yes.
We share sickness. But like 2 years in, I'm good. But like the problem we have is that, not that I'm not running it, but that one, our Facebook group is wide open. Like my dad is in our Facebook group, which is just weird. So like there's no community there. Like I had my friend Erin Waters, who is like a TPT seller friend of mine who lives in Ohio, like randomly gets notifications on her phone about like my comments in our book club group. And she's like, that's so funny. And I'm like, yeah, because they refuse to put it on private because they want people to know about it. I'm like, you guys, this is talk about grandmas and Facebook. So that's a problem. The second problem is like there's never a discussion question set up. We just kind of like do like the thumbs up or thumbs down and then why? The other problem is the choices of the books are based on voting in this Facebook group. So people are voting on this book that don't even go to our book club necessarily. And people keep picking books that are not discussable. Like First Lie Wins was one of our book club books. Like I'm finding it difficult to have a deep, meaningful discussion over a whodunit.
Right. So do you want me to hold a mirror up to this a little bit? Or are we not looking for that right now?
You can't. I was saying in 2025, we're starting a new book club.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, are we just looking for thoughts and prayers or like, what do we want right now?
Yeah. So my what I was going to share with you is like one of the things that we're going to discuss. There's a cohort of us that are kind of
defectors.
Yeah. I mean, it's
Wait, is that defectors is the word I was trying to say. Defector is not a word.
It's a word for tonight though.
Thank you.
And one of our brainstorms is that we want to make a 2025 reading bingo card. Or like something like that. Maybe it's not bingo, but like,
yes, bingo.
We just kind of want to brainstorm like genres or like random things that like we've never done that we want to try, or like, have like in February, like I have to read a book that someone in this room recommends to me, or like things like that. We're going to try to do just to like make it social and fun, but also like keep reading.
Yeah.
And like you said, I want to read more stories. And that's what I love. I love getting books from book club that I wouldn't normally pick.
Right.
However,
Same.
Then when we get to the club and no one has anything to say because like we read it at all different times, it's kind of like
and because it was like, what are you going to talk about?
Like, what are you going to talk about? It's like Frida McFadden. Like, what are we going to talk about?
Okay, I like that. I'm excited to hear about that.
Like that'd be kind of fun. Even with independent reading, like let's make a independent reading bingo card.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
I don't know.
I just have also like that gimmicky crap. You and I both do.
I do like the gimmicky crap. It sustains for as long as it's shiny and new. It's fine.
It's fun. Yeah.
It's fun.
All right. Well, friends, here's what we want. I am in need of book recommendations. I think that it's clear what I like to read. And it's also clear that I'm in a bit of a rut. So, help me out. Help Amanda out with some suggestions for her bingo card. We would love that. Send them in. We're on social media. You know where to find us.
We're on Fable.
I will be once. Listen.
Oh my God, I forgot to tell you.
Oh my gosh, what?
I brought it. I subscribed to, and I have a discount code, but I subscribed to Once Upon a Book Club finally.
Oh, you did.
And I got my first book, but I haven't opened any of my presents yet. So Once Upon a Book Club is a book subscription service, and they send you a ginormous box, and it's got the book, and then it's got presents for when you get to different pages in the book.
That's like my dream come true.
Okay, I'm going to get it for you for Christmas. I'm going to buy it for you for Christmas. Okay. The book that we got this month in October, is called This Will Be Fun by E.B. Asher.
That's so fun.
But I got all these really cute little presents to read or to open when I get to certain, like, they're wrapped. They say, open me at page 148.
That's so cute.
I know.
It's I'm obsessed with that. I love that.
Once Upon a Book Club. Check show notes.
Okay. I love it. Well, thank you. I look forward to it.
You too. Like, forget the bingo card. Just subscribe and read what they send you.
No, those things are fun, actually. Like, even Book of the Month is cool for that, but like, yeah. So, okay. Friends, we hope that you have gotten some good reading motivation and suggestions. And if you have some for us, please send them our way. And have a wonderful week.
Be sure to come back next week. We got a collab-isode.
It's true. We do. And it's going to be a really good one with tons of really good ideas. And, this is that time of year that you just want quick wins. I mean, what time of year do we not want quick wins? But this is the time of year that we need quick wins. So make sure to come back next week. And thanks for hanging out with us today. We hope you have a wonderful week at school, and we will see you next time. Bye. Bye.
Thanks again for listening to Brave New Teaching.
We'd love to keep the conversation going over on Instagram.
And while you're there, check out the links in our bio for the most up-to-date events going on in the Brave New Teaching community.
Thanks for being here and have a great week at school.